Imagine waking up every day with the nagging feeling that everything you've done, everything you've worked for, will one day fade into oblivion. The accomplishments, the love, the struggles, it all feels temporary, like a fleeting moment on the grand scale of time. You wonder, what is the point of it all? What is the value of striving if, in the end, we're just forgotten? What if I told you that the secret to overcoming this fear isn't in seeking immortality, but in understanding why we crave it in the first place? Today, we will unravel the profound truth behind the human desire for legacy and immortality. By the end of this journey, you will discover why this desire isn't just about fame or recognition. It's about something much deeper, something essential to the very fabric of our existence. From ancient mythologies to modern-day philosophy, humans have been obsessed with the idea of leaving a mark on the world, a legacy that will outlast their physical lives. But why do we fear being forgotten so much? Why is it that, despite all the technology, all the advancements, we still struggle with the idea of our eventual obscurity? And most importantly, how can we shift our focus from fearing oblivion to embracing the fleeting beauty of life? If you've ever wondered about the deeper meaning of legacy and why it matters so much, this is for you. Let's explore why we crave immortality, the hidden motivations behind it, and how you can find peace in knowing that your life, however brief, has meaning. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll realize something that will change the way you view your life, your impact, and your legacy forever. Throughout history, human beings have feared their own impermanence. From the Egyptians, who built pyramids to ensure their afterlife, to the philosophers who debated the meaning of existence, the fear of being forgotten has been a constant undercurrent in human thought. But here's the truth. This fear is not something to fight, it's something to understand. When we are born, we are given a name, a history, a place in the world. But as time passes, we begin to realize something terrifying. One day, those names will fade. The faces we see every day will be nothing but memories, and eventually, even those will blur into the annals of time. Our bodies will decay, and our voices will be silenced. The question arises, what happens to me when I'm gone? Philosophers like Soren Kierkegaard explored this existential fear, calling it the dread of nothingness. The fear that, once we leave this world, we will no longer matter. And it's a fear that has shaped our desires for millennia. From the construction of grand monuments to the creation of powerful legacies, humans have tried to carve out a space for themselves in the timeline of history, hoping that, somehow, their presence will be remembered long after they're gone. But here's the paradox. The desire for immortality is rooted not in our need to avoid death, but in our need to be seen, to be remembered. Carl Jung, a leading psychologist, argued that humans possess an innate drive to create meaning. This need to leave a mark is part of our search for identity, for a sense of purpose. It's not simply about fame or recognition. It's about proving to ourselves that we mattered. Think about it. How many times have you thought, what will I leave behind? How often have you wondered if the things you do, the work you put into the world, will have any lasting impact? It's a question that haunts us all, whether we admit it or not. And here's why. It's a question tied to our deepest need for significance. But here's the catch. While legacy can provide meaning, the pursuit of immortality can also trap us in a cycle of anxiety and dissatisfaction. Studies show that people who focus solely on creating a legacy, without ever considering what truly brings them joy, often experience burnout, stress, and a sense of emptiness. The pressure to be remembered can become overwhelming. In the chase for immortality, we can lose sight of the present moment, the only moment that truly matters. So, what is the solution to this paradox? The solution lies in recognizing that the fear of being forgotten is not about avoiding death. It's about embracing life, about choosing to live with purpose, even if that purpose is never fully realized by future generations. It's about finding peace in the idea that, while we may not control how we are remembered, we can control how we live in the here and now. In the next section, we'll dive into how you can start letting go of the fear of being forgotten. We'll explore the deep, psychological roots of this fear, and uncover how understanding it can free you from its grip. The most powerful realization is yet to come, and when you hear it, everything will change. Throughout history, human beings have been obsessed with legacy. Kings and queens have built empires to immortalize their names. Artists have created timeless masterpieces in hopes of securing their place in the cultural canon. But why does this desire exist? Why do we long to be remembered long after we're gone? The answer lies in our biology. As humans, we are social creatures. For thousands of years, our survival depended on being seen and recognized by others. To be cast aside, to be forgotten, meant isolation, vulnerability, and ultimately death. Rejection by our community was a threat to our very existence. While modern society no longer holds that same life or death weight, the fear of being forgotten still lingers in our subconscious minds. Psychologists like Abraham Maslow have pointed out that our need for self-esteem, our need to feel valued by others, is one of the most powerful motivators in human behavior. But when it comes to legacy, this need transcends simple validation. It's about something deeper, the desire for immortality. Maslow argued that once we fulfill our basic needs for food, safety, and love, we begin to crave recognition, an acknowledgement that we have made a mark on the world. But there's a dark side to this craving. The more we seek validation through legacy, the more it can consume us. Our desire for immortality can push us to achieve things for the wrong reasons. We might chase fame or wealth, not because they bring us joy, but because we fear being forgotten. We might sacrifice our happiness, our relationships, and even our sense of self in the pursuit of an eternal name. But here's the powerful truth. Immortality is not found in external achievements or recognition. It is found in the meaning we create within our lives, the love we give, and the moments we cherish. Think about the most impactful people in history. Do they all have their names etched in stone or their faces on currency? Not necessarily. Some of the most profound legacies are built in quiet, everyday actions. The teacher who inspired a student to become something greater. The friend who listened when no one else would. The parent who nurtured their children with love and care. These are the legacies that often go unspoken, but they are no less significant. The key is not to focus on how you will be remembered, but on how you live in the present. The fear of being forgotten is rooted in a desire for recognition, but true fulfillment comes from living authentically, doing what resonates with your soul, regardless of whether anyone else sees it or not. The first step to overcoming the fear of being forgotten is to stop measuring your worth by external markers. Success is not determined by how much fame or fortune you amass, but by how much love, meaning, and joy you bring into the world. Legacy is not a monument built for others to see. It's a collection of moments, relationships, and actions that live on in the hearts of those who have been touched by your presence. The second step is to embrace the beauty of impermanence. Death is not something to fear, it is something to accept. Understanding that life is finite allows us to live more fully, more intentionally. The moment you stop worrying about how you will be remembered and focus on how you live today is the moment you start living with true freedom. Finally, learn to find peace in your own legacy. This doesn't mean neglecting your dreams or abandoning your goals. It simply means recognizing that the value of your life is not contingent on whether or not it lasts forever in the minds of others. Your impact is already real. It's in the love you give, the kindness you show, and the authenticity with which you live. These things are eternal, even if your name is not. Now, let's talk about what this looks like in practical terms. Begin by redefining what a legacy means to you. Is it about the things you accumulate, or is it about the way you live your life? Is it about how others see you, or about how you feel when you look back at your own journey? Once you shift your focus from legacy as recognition to legacy as meaning, you begin to free yourself from the fear of being forgotten. And when that fear fades, you can live with the knowledge that your life has already had an impact. In the end, it's not about immortality in the traditional sense. It's about living in a way that brings meaning and peace. It's about finding joy in the process, knowing that every moment of your life, however fleeting, adds to the beautiful tapestry of human existence. Your legacy doesn't need to be immortalized in history books. It lives on in the hearts of those whose lives you've touched. And that, my friend, is enough. So ask yourself, what legacy do you want to create today? Not for tomorrow's recognition, but for the life you are living right now. Thank you for listening.